We're at a stage, I think, in the life of the adoption life of NFV, where we're relatively early. But I think it's moving into more of a scale adoption kind of phase. And the reason so what's happened that's allowed it to make that transition? I think a couple of things. One is when NFV and products in this space first emerged, the operator, was able to ask the question, well, have these products really caught up with what I'm already doing in my current networks? If they're not, I can't really afford to take a hit in some sense against what I'm already capable of doing. The reason I think this market's at a tipping point today is because what we've shown, for example, with our products, is that our platforms now outperform the best of the legacy platforms. And therefore, it's sort of silly to still be investing in the legacy when you're not really losing anything by going to the new, which is going to be your future anyway. So I think that's a big piece of the puzzle. And so overcoming that was one issue. I think the bigger problems or the bigger transformations that operators face as they really try to deploy this broadly in their network is really the restructuring that they have to do even when they're inside their own organizations. These are much more software-centric solutions. Operations teams have to think a lot more about software and software products than they do about boxes and replacing cards and things like that. The operations models are much, much simpler. At the end of the day, one of the values of this is to reduce OpEx. But fundamentally, that means that you're aligning teams and making teams smaller, and that's a big hurdle to overcome. So I think there are social issues that have to be overcome.
Well, yeah, there's organization and social issues because it's going to make big changes within the operator itself, and jobs are going to go.
That is going to be part of it. I mean, at the end of the day, NFV drives a lot of efficiency, and the amount of effort that you need to support networks is different. In a lot of ways, jobs will go, but in a lot of ways, jobs will transform as well. We're going to take people who are trained to, do break-fix type operations, and we're going to transform them into people who operate just fundamentally at a higher level, and they're going to be thinking about services and how you provision services. And that's a retraining exercise. So I don't think that people necessarily have to go. I think their jobs are going to change, and this is one of the big things that operators are focused on, is how do they retrain their people.
Sure.
Yeah.